Hi, I'm Aaron Cross. As you'll see in the video that's about to be played, creator of iFilm Cinemas and host of Not Your Normal Podcast. Um, we actually made the video you're about to watch days after the incident in Minneapolis, and due to recent things that have came out on the cop side and George Floyd's side, and I'm talking about their past, we took out certain parts of the video that we feel just shouldn't be shown due to those things, and in no way, shape, or form does that take away from what happened. It is still a terrible tragedy. Still should not be, you know, still should never happen. But we decided to, as a collective, decided to leave the parts in that focused on, racial inequality, social injustice, racial injustice, and just keep those parts of the video still in because we still believe that the video should be shared, should be watched. Very informative. It gives you multiple people, different thinkers, independent thinkers, on what they think of just basically the state of the nation right now, and what probably has been the state of the nation for many years previous. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. Me, myself, Kyler, my cousin Tyler, me and Kyler's friend Tim, and a good friend of mine and Kyler's now, Jared Bowman, decided to make this video that you're about to watch, and just give you a little insight on how our minds, sort of handled what happened. And that's really all I got to say. So enjoy the video. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name's Tim Honeycutt. I'm a security supervisor, level 3. Ready for this interview.
I'm Tyler Stevenson, and it's good to meet everybody.
My name is Jared Bowman, and I am the host of Life is Good with JB.
My name is Kyler Durham. I am a co-host and a member of the iFilm Cinemas production company, and as well as co-host podcast with Aaron.
So I'm Aaron Cross, creator of iFilm Cinemas and host of Not Your Normal Podcast. There have been a lot of protesting and things that come along with protesting. In this certain case, where are riots and looting and things of that nature. How do you feel about the protests that are being taken and the extreme measures that certain people are taking on, I guess, acting on it?
I'm all for the protests. I mean, it's your given right. I mean, as long as it's done peacefully. I mean, I don't agree with the violence. I mean, George Carlin said it best. Fighting for violence is like screwing for virginity. It just doesn't make sense.
Protesting's not a big deal, but looting and rioting, that's not cool. That should not be how it's done. Like, if they're gonna completely just shut down, that's just what they're gonna do. Like, people are just gonna do whatever they feel like, and then that's why the armies and stuff are all around now, because of all the looters and stuff. So
I'll start with the looting. If you're looting, you deserve to be locked up as well. If you're breaking into stores to steal stuff for your own benefit, you need to be in jail. The rioting, I think people are tired of being peaceful. They want to stand up and say, all right, we tried being nice. We tried to do it peacefully. I think it's time for us to react the way that you guys, the American way was to react, and that's with violence. We learned violence. Every one of us learned violence from our ancestors. And the people that are peacefully protesting, more power to you. And to the cops that are standing and just letting it happen without having to be involved, I commend you. That's hard. Somebody in your face. I don't know if I could do it.
I think a peaceful protest, that's one of your rights as an American citizen, is to be able to protest things. I think if you don't believe in protesting, then you are stripping yourself of one of your rights as a member of this country. I think if you believe in a cause, no matter what it is, no matter how big or how small it is, and you think that you need to protest to get that point across, and you have a group of people that are willing to do it with you, hell, even if you're by yourself, you're protesting by yourself, if it's something you believe in, yeah, protest. Do it. I support that. As far as the rioting and as far as all that stuff, destroying stuff, that part I don't really understand, because you're destroying your own communities. And I understand that something very tragic happened. I don't think two wrongs don't make a right. 2 acts of violence don't make it right. If all the protests are peaceful, like we had some in Sherman, we had one in Denison, and they went very, very well, which that's great. That's fantastic. That's what a protest should be. It should be a peaceful protest. Like when Martin Luther King walked the streets and protested, it was a peaceful protest until the authorities intervened. Most protests will be peaceful until people intervene, but there are the 1 or 2 people that are going to riot, that are going to loot. There's not much you can do about that, but that part to me, I completely disagree with that. You're destroying your own communities, and you're using something that's happening in our world that's a social injustice. You're using that as a way to commit crimes and to validate your crimes. Don't answer violence with violence. Answer violence with an educated, intellectual protest, and stand your ground. So the protest, love them. Protest. If you're in a community that protest and you believe in the cause like we do, go protest. Be safe. Do it peacefully.
So protesting from a peaceful protester side of things, I believe in protesting. I think it's the right thing to do. It's a effective way to have your voice heard in large groups of people, or even if it's a small group of people. I think protesting is perfectly fine. But when it comes to the looting and rioting, I don't agree with that at all. Mainly from a standpoint, and I sort of speak on this sort of from my mindset, which is those people that are looting and rioting, they're not just looting and rioting and stealing things from big name stores. They're burning down people's livelihoods. So I instantly relate it to them because of what me and Kyler are sort of trying to create with this, the whole iFilm Cinemas Productions thing is, what if we had a studio somewhere and all of that was taken? It's not like we're selling a bunch of things. The camera gear and the stuff that we're using to make this video right now, that's what makes us money. And once you take it, we're not able to create anymore, which would be our livelihood. And the looting and rioting from a big store's perspective, in my head, is you're upset about what happened, and rightfully so, but you're stealing from, and I'll use Target as an example. Target being one of the biggest, store corporations in America. Those stores do have insurance, and they'll get all of that back. But once you steal from them, you're giving them justable cause to, whenever they get everything replaced, you're still going to have to shop there eventually. And because of what you stole and what you took, now you're going to end up paying more. So you're essentially hurting your own pockets, on top of hurting those people that their livelihoods come from their small own business. So I don't agree with that. Rioting and looting, I think that's wrong. Everyone wants to pick a side. Mm-hmm. In your opinion, if there is a side to be on, do you have a side, or which side do you lean towards, in your opinion? If there is a side at all.
Right now I stand with the black people. I've been in security for 8 years now. I've worked alongside several police departments, Mesquite, Garland, Dallas, Dart, and it's an everyday thing. There's injustices every day against people of color. And when white cops are around white cops, or white cops are around white security guards, that's when you see it the most, because they just open up because you're the same skin tone as them, and they're like, oh, it's boom, boom, boom. It's like clockwork. It's every day. You're going to hear something every day from pretty much the same officers. There are good officers out there, but I would say 70% of the majority of officers out on the street are prejudiced.
So, basically almost, everyone said in this video already, there's not a correct side to be on. unless you say the side is on the human side, which is everyone's equal, everyone believes the same, everyone breathes the same. There's no one that, everyone is made up of the same things. They're all the same. Just the color of their skin is different, and where they're from, how they talk is different. That's it.
I don't think there's a true side. I think there's just and unjust, life and death. And I'm on the side of life. No life should be taken unjustly. If I know we were taught in the Bible, an eye for an eye, but if I haven't crossed you, why try to take my life? Why do I have to die because you don't like my skin color? And I'm not one of those. I believe Black Lives Matter, and at the moment that's what we're focusing on. But at the end of the day, we all matter. We all should love each other. That's the foundation of every religion and creed, is love. And if you can't love somebody because they're different from you, then you're not on my side. Because I ain't got time for people that are just hateful because of someone's differences.
Do you think racism exists? And if so, like how? Like what type of racism do you think exists? The most prominent.
Yeah. I've walked into the basketball court, and I'm the only white dude in the gym, and I've heard it out of people's mouths. I'm not picking the white kid. I don't want the white kid. You haven't seen me touch the ball. You haven't even seen. You watched me walk into the court. Because of the color of my skin, you're not going to pick me up. That's racism.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's racism. Not a store owner, regardless of their race, not selling items to someone because of their race. That's racism. It doesn't matter what color it is. Yes, racism exists from all sides. Racism exists from my racist side, which is white. It comes from the Oriental side. Racism comes from every single side. It's not white on black. It's not black on white. It's not Hispanic on anything. Yes. I mean, I don't really know how to explain that any better. Racism exists, and it shouldn't. In a perfect world, it shouldn't. And hopefully we take the steps to move towards a more perfect world. And instead of seeing color, you just see a human being. Because that's what I see.
It's uncomfortable. I mean, like, it's like living under your skin. Like, it's just like every day it's out there, like, no matter what. Like, you open your door, racism. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, things, I don't really know how to say it, but, like, things are just not the same. Like, things are just not normal now, like, at all.
I most definitely have been a part of it. Just going to a private Christian school, you can feel the eyes of judgment because you are black. There's not many black people that go to private Christian schools, so you see the judgment. You feel it in class from your professors, your fellow classmates. And I think racism is systematic as well as institutionalized, but it's taught. You don't wake up and one day just be like, I hate white people, I hate black people, I hate Asians, I hate whatever. You don't wake up that way. Someone teaches you that. And whether it be the way that it's portrayed in books in school or what you're learning at home, that is a taught element. So, does racism exist? Yeah, for sure. Can everyone be racism? I disagree on that. I believe that because the definition of racism is oppression. I can't oppress somebody that has more power and control in the world than I do. Prejudice, most definitely everyone can be prejudiced. But I think the world has taken racism and tried to make it a thing that we know is there, but blow it up. There's always going to be there. I don't think it'll go anywhere. And people are going to not like you for the color of your skin, which is stupid. Because if I cut you, you bleed the same way I bleed. If I punch you in the nose, your nose is going to be broke just like mine. If I punch you in the eye, you're going to have a black eye, just like I would. And again, everything starts with love. And if you taught love from the time you're born till you become an adult, you love everybody no matter what your differences are.
If there is an ending to it, in your opinion, how do you think racism or anything revolving around social injustice or racial injustice, racism in a whole, In your opinion, how do you think that ends, if there is one?
I mean, I really don't see it ending. If racism were to end, and for good, it would have to be something that unites Earth, human beings as a whole. Like Elon Musk, like we're doing the SpaceX stuff right now. We would have to come in contact with a higher intelligence, and human beings would have to be fearful for their own existence to come together and unite. I don't see us coming together as the world is right now. It's just not. We're not going to see eye to eye. I stand against all this racism and everything. And I mean, I'm in an interracial relationship, and I mean it got heated this past week because I'm standing against all this stuff, and when it happens to white people on the street, my girlfriend's like, well, they deserve it. White people deserve it because they do it to us all the time. So white people are just getting what's coming to them. And I don't wholeheartedly agree with that because not everybody's racist. Yes, there are prejudiced people out there, some more than others, but it's just not gonna. It's never just gonna fix itself.
We just got to come together as one nation. That's the only thing I can think of. We can't. I mean, like, it's not the Civil War. Like, we can't, be like brothers, like of the South versus the North and shit. Like, we can't do that. Like, we have to get along in order for this country to be successful.
We go back to love. Martin Luther King was all about love for the people. And some of the greatest minds in the world, Jimi Hendrix was about love. Bob Marley was for sure about love. And the moment we get back to the foundation of love, yourself, love others as you would love yourself, then things change. When people can sit and have open conversations, no matter the differences, things change. But until we get to that point, it won't go anywhere. And there are going to be people that are so close-minded and narrow-minded that they're going to be like, my way or the highway. And it's a load of shit. If you can't have an open conversation with somebody about their differences, whether they're gay, whether they're transgender, whether they're black, whether they're white, you need to find some private island to live on by your damn self, because we ain't got time for that in this world. We got enough crap to worry about.
Y'all are not gonna like my answer. It is true. It's what I actually think about racism. It won't. It won't. There's always gonna be racism in the world. There's always gonna be people who are pieces of shit that will discriminate someone because they're different. The same thing with anyone that's homophobic. The same thing with anyone that is against certain religions. The same thing. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be people that have a problem with people that are different than them. It doesn't matter. It's not just racism. It doesn't matter what color you are, what your sexual orientation is, what your religion is, what your political beliefs are. It doesn't matter. Everyone's going to have a problem. Someone has a problem with it, and that's always going to exist. There is no way to get rid of that. It's sad. I mean, I wish there was. I wish we could all coexist together and do our own things and be happy and love one another, but that's not a realistic approach. I don't think there is an end to racism. I think we can tame racism back. I think if we take the approach that understanding that everyone's human and there are people that are different than you and me, that we can take steps forward to taming it back, and to the bulk of people aren't racist, aren't homophobic, aren't against certain religions, that kind of stuff. We can make a bulk of people, not make, but help a bulk of people to see that's a human being too. But there's still always going to be those people that they don't care. They don't care. You're different. You're a different color than me. You worship a different whatever than me. You have this different sexual orientation than me. That stuff's never going to end. There's always going to be someone out there that hates people for being different. And it's sad, and it kind of makes me sick, but it's always going to exist.
thank you for watching the video. We'd highly appreciate it if you liked it. Shared it, spread it amongst your friends and family, if that's through social media or word of mouth. We believe it's a very important video with a very important message, especially with the times that we're going on through, that America's going through right now. And also, we felt like we wouldn't be doing our part as, social media people that do this type of thing on a regular basis, if we didn't make this video and put it on our platforms to reach multitudes of people. But with that being said, thank you again. Thank you to Tyler Stevenson, Tim Honeycutt, Jared Bowman, all good friends of me and Kyler's, and everyone over here at iFilm Cinemas Productions. And Jared Bowman actually also has a podcast called Life is Good with JB. I'll make sure to link that podcast down below. And with that being said, once again, thank you. And just remember, everyone is, we're all the same. We're all human. It's very kindergarten. It's a very cliche thing, but I believe it still holds true, which is treat everybody how you would like to be treated. Thank you.